welcome to Pearson the Vale.
Good evening, everyone.
Tonight we have Jesus Payan. He's going to be talking about the DOTC project, which is something that he is involved in, and that this is his project. And as you can see from our thumbnail, if you paid attention to it, it's all about that mountain, if you want to call it a mountain.
All about that mountain.
I'm sure you guys are all familiar with Jesus from his movie career and stuff, but he's got Breaking Bigfoot as a Facebook page, and now we're switching over to Breaking Discoveries. It's a new for him, and not new, but this is, like I said, the DOTC project is his, and this is what this is all about, and we'll bring him up and get going.
I just wanted to say welcome, everyone. We may not be in chat, but we are busy interviewing, so I just want to welcome everyone. I see everyone in chat. So let's get rolling.
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome back, actually. Welcome back for the second round.
Good to be back. Okay, I'm going to take out my glasses because of the glare, sorry. But when you bring pictures up, I'm going to be like this.
Yeah, I know. I hear you. That's why I got this big monitor in front of me.
Yeah.
You know? I'm looking at my little phone, right now. So,
so go ahead. I'm sure people know you, but go ahead and just tell us all about you and what the DOTC project is.
Okay, so for those out there that don't know me very well, because I ain't that famous. But my normal job, my normal job was being a Hollywood actor, stuntman. Before that, I was a bodyguard, bouncer, head of security, former detention officer for the federal prisons, a hearing officer, a SWAT officer, and all kinds of other interesting stuff. But as of late, growing, as I turned to a real adult. I fell more back into my research, my reading, trying to figure out mysteries of the universe, well, mostly of the earth. But I really have evolved into a different creature, I guess you could say. All that stuff that I mentioned before isn't as important to me anymore. What's more important to me now is knowledge, education. My family, my wife. I'm not married now. I wasn't married, for super long now, but as long as I was married, and it's been 6 years. This month it was 6 years. So I'll be having my nephew moving in soon. So all the things have changed and shifted in my world to what's more important to me. And I love doing research, experiencing all the strangeness, Bigfoots, UFOs, ghosts, and now a big part of my life is ancient history and forbidden archaeology, which encompasses from giants to the mud flood to, is carbon dating, reliable, are dinosaurs real, all that fun stuff. So, yeah, that's what I love, and so that's what I'm dedicating my time, and I'm starting to write books now, and I'm gonna try to do the author thing, and doing photography, professional photography, and just a lot of different things. I love life, and I hope it gets better. Yeah.
Right. When you get into this field, whether it's paranormal or cryptid or UFO or anything. I mean, there's just so many rabbit holes and so many things to research you can go down.
Right.
Let alone, like we were talking, right in your own backyard.
Literally. Yep. No, it changed a lot with what I've discovered because 6 years ago, like I said, I got married, and me and my wife, like I said, I'm not a wealthy man or nothing. I've done movies and TV, but it only stretches so far in between every 4 or 5 months of getting to do a 2-day project. And so we had a real modest wedding, and we decided to get married at the bottom of one of these mountains where the Space Hall of Fame is. And it turns out, the fact that I'm, my ancestry is Mayan and from Mesoamerica, and right here in North America too. I got to realize that we got married at the top of a giant temple.
Oh,
An ancient temple overlooking the whole, city and White
oh,
Sands,
wow.
the whole thing. So it got a lot cooler. I loved it before. That was really cool. At the space hall, but yeah, and it turns out later I ended up working running the planetarium up there too for a little while. So it's really cool. Finding what I found now, which is again also in my backyard. It's all connected right here. Yeah.
Wow.
That's
That's
crazy.
cool. Yeah, I'm just so fascinated in the mud flood and just the old world, old buildings. Are these mountains or is there a city inside? Just
Right.
like the Hobbit movies. You watch the Hobbit movies and you just imagine, like, wow, what is inside our mountains?
Right.
Or
Well, what's
or what
really
do you or what are we finding
sorry.
on the outside of the mountains? It's just
Yeah.
interesting.
Oh, for sure. Well, like definitely these mountains we have here, or whatever we want to call them, they have tons of tunnel systems in it. Not like
Yeah.
known ones from mining, a whole bunch of mining in this area. But before the mining occurred, the Apache here, Mescalero Apache tribe, they talked about in their histories of there being cave systems throughout this whole place. And when the Spaniards would come and the conquistadors would come to fight, they would just go into the cave systems and disappear, and you would never see them. You couldn't figure out where the heck they went, which later makes sense in the with the Bigfoots, because the
Yeah.
Bigfoots here in Sasquatch, they use the same cave still. The Apache don't go in and out of them no more. No, no, no. But I'm guessing, of course, I didn't have a Sasquatch come and tell me, hey, Jesus, we go use them caves, man. It's like, no. But it makes sense where they're going during the horrible weather, because they're not leaving.
Hmm.
They're not like migrating or nothing like that. They're still in the area, but they have somewhere safe to be during these times, and
Right.
extreme heat too, and during the fires here. Some of them have been caught off guard. The Bigfoots. There was a helicopter pilot, hot shots guy. He would fly in front of the fire and radio in, it's heading southeast by 64 knots or whatever, and one of them saw a big group of animals running out of a clearing of the forest into like a prairie, and there were every animal you could imagine: bears, deers, wild horses, and he said two Sasquatch running with them all out of the forest away from the fires. So
Mm,
they get cut off guard too, and because I can't imagine there's an entrance into the mountain every 20 feet, like a emergency exit, So
Right.
right.
they have to run too, And do you guys ever see the movie Congo?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay,
I don't think I
so
have.
it's an older movie. I'd say probably from the 90s, the late 90s, and it was about a story how these ancient temples that they thought were just mountains and a volcano. Inside there was living these giant apes,
Hmm.
and they literally were, they populated the whole inside of this mountain, and they're really smart, and but they were all albinos for some reason. But kind of what's going on here, finding out, because I've had so much Bigfoot experiences here in these mountains, and then to find out later that it's possible that these mountains are actually giant buildings or temples, or
Hmm.
they use the landmass itself to carve out of it, which
Right.
is very possible too. I don't know,
Right.
because of the history of calamities here. I know White Sands. Well, let me jump back a second for the people that know what the hell I'm talking about.
All right.
Okay, so the DOTC project stands for Discovery of the Century, because I think this is the discovery of the century of what I've discovered here in the New Mexico mountains, the Sacramento Mountains, they're called, in New Mexico, and we're like the Smoky Bear, no, yeah, Smoky Bear area, but Lincoln County National Forest. There you go. had to get that out. So right here, we're about an hour and a half from Texas, about 2 hours from Juarez, 1 hour from Las Cruces, New Mexico. I'm 13 miles away from White Sands Missile Range, roughly. And so that we have, it's called the Tularosa Basin. So it's literally like a giant bowl. We have the lava fields also, so there's all kinds of interesting topography here. But right here along this mountain range, I discovered ancient carvings up and down these mountains. I mean, all the way from left to right, and tons of huge. Like it's so deceiving from what I've seen, because until I literally climbed the mountain in my backyard myself, did I not really comprehend the size of the cliffs that I've been taking pictures of, because my phone zooms in so well, it's
Right.
just like, there it is, right there.
Yeah.
I climbed one of the smallest mountains that nearby that has stuff on it, and I was just amazed at how big it is. I know it sounds weird, but it is just like, oh my God, the what I thought were probably 15, 20-foot cliff faces. No, they're 40, 50, 60 foot.
Oh,
cliff faces.
wow.
You know what I mean?
Man.
So that was a whole nother mind blow on top of finding all this weird stuff that I've been finding. So I'm just like, hold on a second. Before I realized even how more enormous they are, I was wondering, like, how did they carve it on there? How did they, mountain climb like this? Because, like I said, it's really big. So it wasn't just them, kind of monkeying around, holding on to something with tap, 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 tap with a little chisel, the hammer. No. It's like this would have took some, like I said, either expert mountain climbers with high-powered machinery, or actual, what I can only just make up in my mind, a drone with lasers or something, to be able to just for the amount. Now, I can understand, our ancient peoples carving so much, themselves. Yeah, I get it. They were able to do that. We see lots of in the records, but 40, 50 miles across. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm exaggerating. I mean, like, all the way on just enormous and ginormous cliff faces. And, some of the stuff that I found out, you won't see it all today. Tonight, you'll see some cool stuff that I found tonight, to the audience out there. But, I've seen things, ginormous, giant jade carvings, like whole statues, not just, a cliff face, no, an actual statue placed somewhere, huge, that couldn't be smaller than like a F-350 dually, you know what I mean? Big things, huge things that don't make sense for the times. I've seen, like India got some amazing carvings. Saudi Arabia has some really interesting Sumerian carvings, and then Puma Punku and all these new things that they found. But still, it just for this area, what we've been told in history that was here has completely flipped around, especially like with white sands, over here that they've discovered, not that long ago, footprints, human footprints. And there wasn't supposed to be people here during that time, and we're aging these at 23,000 years ago, which goes against all of what the books say right now. It goes against the land bridge theory. It goes against lots, and the animals that they're finding here. They used to think that the only reason we had horses in North America was because of the Spaniards coming and other people from other places coming here with them. No, we had horses. We had giant camels. We had elephants, not just mastodons. We had elephants before that too. So everything's getting rewritten. And the more I've found, the more I'm seeing that we don't know anything about our history. We've been so messed with badly, and it's very upsetting. That's what the DOTC project is. This discovery combined with Bigfoot, because it all ties together. It's like to think that there's footprints of a primitive hominid here, and there's articles from 1900s and 1800s of giants being found, giant bones being found everywhere. In the creek over here where I live, there's all these giant axes and hammers that I found, like war hammers and stuff, that are, I'm a big strong boy, and ain't no way in hell I could swing them. You know, even
Wow.
if I was on steroids and, you know, just ate raw coffee, you know, for an hour straight, I still would break something, pop something, you know, just trying to
Yeah.
lift it. Yeah.
Our last
So
show with Jessica on the Cryptid Hundreds, so we got into the Grand Canyon and Egyptian tie-in and giants, and I mean, there's just so much stuff that's undiscovered here in America that they've kept hidden, or even the Smithsonian goes out to, we'll investigate this, and then they hide it.
Yeah.
mhm. Yeah, that really makes me mad because there's so many reports and articles in old newspapers where
Yeah.
they openly say the Smithsonian is here helping us dig it up, and then
Mm-hmm.
oh, we
Then
threw that
poof.
away. You know,
Yeah,
it's
you
like,
don't have to worry about that. Don't.
Yeah.
but and the really upsetting part is there's no punishment. Why is it okay for them to misplace or accidentally destroyed 8,000 giant skeletons, or more, and but it's not. They're okay. It's okay for them to do it, even though we have evidence that they had this stuff. There's no punishment for it. There should be a punishment. They should have to face time, you know,
Right.
or something, because it's just not
Yeah.
right. It just ain't
Them,
right, you know.
them Smith brothers, they got a tie-in somewhere way up there.
Yep, I tell you.
It's
Well, what
crazy.
saddens me is all the old buildings. I was looking at a video today on just Googling city halls around the world, not just world fairs, but just look at the buildings of not just city halls. And you're thinking, that's 1700, that's 1800. Okay, and
Yep.
we're supposed to believe that we had people building buildings with such detail, and they're living in log cabins
Yeah, yeah.
and horse and buggy. And I'm going,
And
where's
no
people's
power
common
tools
sense?
whatsoever.
Just, yeah, just think of your common sense. Like, this isn't right. But yeah,
Yep.
just these old buildings alone is just, it's amazing. You know, they're hiding so much from us.
You know that YouTube channel, My Lunch Break?
Yes,
You
I
heard it?
watched them.
I
Yes.
don't know
Okay.
that.
Yep.
Love that show. Love that show. He's always sounds so angry. It's great. But because like he's like everything he says is, "Are you telling me that, you know? Can you believe you?" You know, he sounds really frustrated. He's very
Yeah.
passionate, but his research is amazing, stupendous, awesome research because you know he does the research on the history of those buildings and what they're saying they were built in, what year, if they were built or
Mm-hmm.
founded, and the time between the of it being built and constructed,
Yeah.
and who constructed it, and then he goes into those architects, what it says they made. Some of them are building 5 different buildings in the same year while living across the United States or in a
Mm-hmm.
different country. They all caught on fire, all of them.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
the stone, the stone ones, they burned down too, and then they rebuilt them the exact same way. And then you got all the world fairs, right? And I do understand that at some of these world fairs they did make the world fairs,
Right.
but certain ones I don't believe
Right.
personally.
Right.
Now
And
the
how
problem is,
fast?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
like,
How
well,
fast? Like
the
5
the
months,
big
they're
one,
done.
yeah,
Yeah.
9 months to a year, and they built 150 of these just ginormous buildings. Did irrigation systems, giant they made, I mean, like,
Mm-hmm.
no problem, no drill, no, just some hammers, chisels,
Yep.
and all the scaffolding you'll see, the majority of the pictures you see with scaffolding, it's actually them painting these old buildings. The scaffolding's for painting. It's not for construction. I've worked
Right.
many a construction business, like worked as a construction worker, and I've built houses. I've worked on all kinds of things, and that is not scaffolding for construction and building. All those pictures, the building's done,
Yep.
but they see a lot of the pictures. There's nobody in them anywhere.
Right.
They're able to construct these buildings in such an amazing fashion with the architecture and the complexities of star forts, all that stuff, but they didn't know how to make a road.
Right. Yeah.
kind of weird, you know.
And just beautiful buildings. And the guy that I was watching, it's John Levy, Jonlevi, John Levy, and he
It
was the
sounds
one
like
that was
he's
doing the
following the
city
street.
halls. Yeah,
Yeah, he's always
beautiful
talking
old
to his real
pictures.
slow. Oh, he's awesome. I
Yeah,
love old John. John's great, man. Him and his little
yeah,
doggy out in the desert.
and just
You
gives
know,
you facts on them claiming that they built this in 5 months, and you're going, what?
Yeah.
even here in Illinois, we had the Chicago, the World's Fair, and they said
Oh.
those buildings were only built to last a certain amount of time and they were going to deteriorate or wear down. Well, we still have them in Chicago
Mhm.
for our his natural history and and all that. It's like,
The
really?
Capitol building, and
Yeah.
what's amazing, what's amazing is that we now know that paper mache turns into marble and concrete over so many years. They told us just wood and paper mache.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
that's strange. That's really neat.
And we're
how that
supposed to
works out.
believe this.
Ridiculous.
I
Oh,
know. I mean, even in our small little town, you go walking downtown and you see half windows that are buried underneath the sidewalks. It's
yeah.
like,
I lived in
even
a
in
house
our little
with that.
town.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
El Paso, Texas. I lived in this old house. It was a poor neighborhood, and but the rent was right, and it was really it was a 2-story. There was a top floor and a bottom floor for 2 different tenants, So we were renting the bottom floor, and yeah, that's how it was all mud flood. It was all mud flood
Yeah.
windows and everything. So well, this is what's worrying me. Okay, guys, and I don't think I've heard too many people talk about it. To an extent, and what I'm saying is, no matter what we're finding out, okay, and the more and more we find out, the worse and worse it gets.
Mhm.
Realizing there's been multiple resets, there's been
Yes.
multiple calamities, but there's one problem that I'm seeing is that we keep on, going on about the Tartarians, right? But
Right.
I'm more like, out of all this time that has passed through multiple calamities and resets, which group has been here the whole time?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that means that these same individuals seem to be not, I don't think it's an issue of they know what's to come because they know astronomy or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying that it's on purpose. They're the ones doing it. And they're the ones that are ready each time on how to protect themselves from it.
Right.
And pick up and repopulate. And what is breaking my heart is that it looks like to me, no matter how kind, how good we want to be, and how meaning well, and we want to spread the truth and teach everybody what's going on, what we know so far, what we've learned. I don't think it matters what we do at this moment. We're so deep in control under these whoever they are, how do we break out of it? I ain't trying to be negative Nancy or nothing, but it's just like, it reminds me of, you guys remember the movie The Matrix?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Do you remember Cypher, who that guy is? Joey Pantoliano, that actor?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
And he's sitting there at a table at dinner with the agent, right? And they're making their deal, and he's cutting his piece of steak, right? And he starts looking at it, and he goes, I know that when I take a bite of this steak, it's not real. It's just information going from electrons to my brain, telling me that it tastes good. Because but the one thing that I've learned out of all this that I know now, and what's real, what's not, and he says, ignorance is bliss.
Yep.
Right?
Exactly.
And then you hear the heart. And you hear the heart.
Yeah.
And that is just echoes in my head more and more and more. As I learn more and more and more about what's reality, to what the human existence really is and where it's been and how it's being manipulated. repeatedly for whatever reason. There's so many different possible reasons that they do it, but none of them are good for us. Is what I'm
Right.
learning, you know?
That's what I don't understand. Why are they hiding so much from us? I don't understand. They don't want us to believe in giants, UFOs, Bigfoot, all of it, all these old buildings, mountains. I mean, they don't want us to know these things. I don't get it.
Well, it reminds me of the Epic of Gilgamesh. You guys are familiar with the Epic of Gilgamesh? Okay.
Right.
So I think the Enkidu were the Bigfoots, okay, the Sasquatch, or at least some form of them, and they had been created to be slaves, okay. And once they figured out that they were just as important as these overseers, these god kings, the creators, they said no more, and they rebelled and challenged, Gilgamesh, and then they had their battle, and even though they won fair and square, they still got punished and banished from everything, and were sent away for all these millennia, and they're still there. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so it's like, I think a huge part of it is whatever they need us to do for them, we're doing. May it be mining, precious metals, gold. If they're, there's the other theory that they're just harvesting souls from us. That's all they're doing. All we are batteries. That's another thing with the whole matrix thing, And they found out a way we still get to slave, but we think we're doing it freely. We think we're free people and we have a choice, when in reality we don't,
Right.
And then, it comes to, do we want to accept that and just be like, okay, we can't do shit about it. We might as well enjoy ourselves while we're here. And then that brings up so many different Pandora's boxes of, then does it matter? Why should I be good? Why shouldn't I just take? Or, many different things. And that, again, it falls back on, the people that are, religious, but which religion is right? Which God is God? Are they all the same dude? I believe the way I believe in God and Jesus, and I just want to be a good person either way. I enjoy being a good person.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's really, really hard to. I've been thinking way too hard about this lately. I should just be looking at rocks and chasing Bigfoot. But yeah, life as of late, I've been contemplating a whole bunch more than usual. It's hard to fill up chapters trying to write books.
Right.
There's a lot of people out there, though, that just like to continue on with their life and not pay attention to anything, whether it's Bigfoot, cryptid, paranormal, or the other side, religious aspect of life. They just want to be in their little areas, like, don't poke your hand out, your head out of the sand and look around. They just want to stay in their own little world and don't bother me.
Yep.
But one of these days, we're going to be dragged out, kicking and screaming.
Well, it's like imagine this, because this is how I feel. I'm obviously not a superhero, but I like that'd be cool if I could be one. But imagine, say you're Superman, right? And you have the strength and the power to help a lot of people and save those people for now. You know what I mean? It's like it's kind of like the Final Destination. You seen that movie, Final Destination?
Yeah.
Okay. Same thing. It's like, are you just postponing it for a little while? Is Superman obligated to try and go out and save people because he can? Or do you know what I'm saying? It's like, to me, that's because like my natural instinct is to try to help, of course, and do great things for each other and whatnot. But it's like, I don't know, man. It's really a thing to ponder. Or like you said, do we just stay in our own lane and focus on our lives, our own personal life, and not care about the rest? But then if we all do that, then it's going to cause that a problem. There's so many
Right.
different avenues, it's driving me batty, is what I'm saying. I want my coffee and my cookies.
It reminds me of Field of Dreams when the little girl fell off the bleachers, the brother and the sister or whatever don't see the ball players out in the field, and all of a sudden they look up. It's like, where'd all these people come from? It's like all of a sudden that one event just wakes them up. It's like all this stuff is going on around, and then all of a sudden one little thing just wakes them up. Like, well, when is this? How long has this all been going on?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's one reason why I love doing these shows. We have a wide variety of subjects, but I'm hoping that we will start waking up some minds. If they just crack it open, like, could that really have happened? Could that be? And then you start opening up and realizing, whoa, these conspiracies are not conspiracies. And I just want to wake up more people to the truth.
Okay, I have a good one for you, okay? This one's been really messing me. Like I said, I believe in Jesus because I've experienced some things that don't make no sense, but it's beyond all the other paranormal crap.
Right.
I've been touched by the Lord. But this is what has really been messing with me, okay? Just being being an annoying human being asking questions. If they've changed literally everything that's true and fooled us all on everything, we're barely finding out and realizing what's going on, right?
Yeah.
If they've changed literally. You go to the library, who knows what's real throughout history, What makes us think humans are very sneaky little bastards, okay? And what makes us think that out of everything that they've lied about, everything that we see, they just didn't mess with that one book. You know what I mean? And there's multiple versions of it, and there's the Bible code.
Yeah, right.
How do Bible codes work in all those other books? How does the Bible code work if you kept out Enoch? How does the Bible work if you cut out the book of Giants? How does you know what I mean? Which ones are real? Are the tablets of Thoth? Those are the real thing? You know what I mean? In Los Lunas here, in Los Lunas, New Mexico, we have the 10 Commandments on a giant stone. Written in ancient Hebrew. I'm talking about Paleo Hebrew. So the Hebrew before the Hebrew. And some of our stories from the tribes here talk about the exact same things that's told in the Bible happen here. And in Utah, if you read the scriptures, every part that mentions the scriptures of Euphrates, this and these different places, Jericho, all here already. The names. And in Mississippi and all these other places, you got Lebanon and all these other names that make no sense why we have them here, but they've been here forever, and the majority of them derive from ancient Native American names, and languages, which happen to be very similar to ancient Hebrew, Paleo Hebrew, and also the Phoenician language. Because we're going way past the Viking times. Vikings, they did come here, and we found Viking stuff here. But I mean, I'm not talking about way before that. You know what I mean? And it's very, very interesting. And it makes sense why, if everything's backwards, what we've been taught, if everything's backwards, why America is the special place that it is. And why all the majority of really weird crap going on right now with our skies and everything. And think about this, Kate. Just think about this. All right. So you heard of the Fatima incident?
Yes.
Okay. You've heard of the Lady of Guadalupe with that little Indian boy? He had the shirt thing, and her picture showed up, right? And all kinds of tortillas got Jesus on it, and toast. And I'm just saying, a whole bunch of miracles and appearances happen here. Now, why wouldn't it be happening where they're telling us it's supposed to have happened?
Right.
Why are they so willing? Why was it so important to take all the land here?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And to me, what it looks like on a grand scale is literally, which breaks my heart so bad, because I love America and I love my flag, and damn it, I love the people here. That we were just like made as a front to make a shitload of money, take all the resources, and make a fool of us. Literally, they made us everything backwards. All the other countries, they run on what system? Metric system. Do we?
Right.
We're like, huh? The hell? You know? All the other countries, they drive on the left side of the damn street. Which way do they have us driving?
Right.
And the list goes on. You know? I was raised on a military base in England for my first part of my childhood. And I learned how to read over there. When I came to the States, none of it made sense at all. At all. They made me go to kindergarten twice. They said I was too young to go to first grade. I already had done kindergarten, was ready for first grade, came to the States, you know, and they said that I was taught wrong how to read, you know, that I should have learned phonetically, you know, knife, cough.
Right.
A bunch of stuff. Oh man. So now, you know, knowing all those things and then learning everything that we are learning, and, you know, the thing that really just irks the hell out of me is when the head of the CIA, before it was Bush, what he said that the day that the world believes the complete opposite of the truth is the day we succeed in what we're trying to do.
Wow. Yep.
And that leads back to, so who's been here the whole time? Well, all these things have been happening throughout this 1,000 or 2,000 years. We don't know if we added or not, but who's been around the whole damn time? That means that they should know. And that means that they probably have a really big library that they won't let nobody look at.
Right.
You know, but that's where I'm at.
The other thing is, I know there's an awful lot of library sections out there that need to switch their signs around.
Honestly, you know, and I'm really curious about like the dinosaur thing. You know, there's a lot of people that really do think the dinosaurs didn't exist. You know, I think they existed personally. I've worked in museums, and yeah, people are right. Museums don't usually carry the actual bones. You know,
right.
Finding a whole skeleton is pretty rare. You know, all the skeletons they do find, you know, the majority of times they're in just big piles of bones. They have to try to figure it out, you know, how they go together. And the majority of times it's just parts, you know, pieces here and pieces there. But yeah, the ones that are actual real bones, people, they don't like understand that it's rock. They're not like bones no more. It's rock.
Right.
And if you wanted to display one, you would literally have to drill holes through all the rocks, which are the bone, to stand it up. But all the weight of a lot of rocks is really hard to stand up without it breaking, shattering, whatever, you know what I mean? And yeah, it wouldn't make sense. There's not enough dinosaurs to go around full body stuff. And they're really expensive. They charge a lot of damn money for those things. You know, 7 million, 6 million. Most museums, little local museums, natural history museums, they ain't got that money. So it's cheaper just to order copies of them. The replicas. You know, they do the imprints. You know, and they'll put up something, have somebody paint it and all that stuff. Yeah, but that's a huge argument. That's what I've been hearing is just, well, the museums don't have real bones. No, but they're not real. It's like, yeah, we know. It's museum. They don't. You're gonna have Tutankhamun in every damn museum. There's only one. You know. I've gone out looking up fossils, digging up fossils. You know, they're there. They're real. If you go look and dig them up, they're going to be there. And the other thing is there's too much, like the ecostones. Did I bring those up last time or no? Ecostones?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think
Okay,
so.
well, if you guys get a chance to look them up, they're called ecostones, ICA. They're Peruvian. And there's like 55,000 of them found total. Now, the big controversy is there's two main controversies involved with those stones. Is that one, they're carved on, these stones they look like river rock, nice and round, you know, polished and all that, which they're actually really, really, really hard rock. There's carvings on them of the tribes people doing astronomy, doing surgeries, brain surgeries, heart surgeries, and with dinosaurs living at the same time and riding them and stuff. Okay, that's the first part of the controversy. That, of course, you got a bunch of paleontologists who are like, no, no way, all fake. Dinosaurs run around. Never dinosaurs have been around at the same time as men. No, right? So they said that they're all fake. Now the guy that originally opened, he has a museum in Peru showing these stones. His father found a writ down in his diary in like the 1800s about these stones. You know, they've been coming across them in tombs and stuff, and they depicted dinosaurs, you know, with humans. And so time passed, and now it was in the early 30s, 40s, 1930s, 30s. And this guy's out doing research, and he comes across this little, you know, village, and they had some of these stones. And they're like, "Oh yeah, we found them in this, tomb, you know, right down the way." And they're like, "You want one?" And he was like, "Heck yeah, dude!" You know, he's like, "I'll take 3, 4," and he bought all of them from them. And over like 10 years, the government eventually got wind, because he was advertising them, showing they just find, you know, man and dinosaur. What the hell? And they went to go arrest that dude for selling artifacts illegally. And they said, "Okay, this is your last chance, hombre. Are these real? Because if they're real, you're going to prison for life. And probably your family too for helping. Or did you make them? Because if you made them, you leave just to sell to dumb tourists. We can't do nothing about it because then they're not real artifacts." And he said, "Oh hell yeah, I made them. Oh yep, made them. Yep. And how? Look at, I just went like this with a rock. Done. You know." And they were like, "Okay," and they declared it fake. But in order for him to have made 55,000 of these stones, not only would he just have to carve them out of this really hard stone, he would have to quarry all those stones and then round them all off, because they don't come round. They're from lava fields. You know what I mean? He would have to literally quarry, chip away at it, do the design and everything, round it off. I think it was like he'd have to do like 200 every day since he was born.
Oh my God!
And how would he have made them before he was born?
Right.
Because they show up in history all the way back to the 1500s. Once again, when the Spaniards came through and they described finding these stones with these depictions on them. But currently, archaeology will not give them any play at all.
Wow.
You know, but the thing is, they're finding now in some of these caches of dinosaur bones that they found, that looks like there was a big flood and they all got squished together in big giant piles of mud. They're finding flesh. Flesh, which is literally impossible after 1,000 years. It's impossible. And
I think it froze up, Gonzo.
Uh-oh.
You know what I mean? So that's, like you said, being found in the year or something. There should be no other reason.
If you can hear me,
Jesus.
you're froze up and you're garbled. You
Yeah,
might
you
have to
froze
get
up.
out and come back in.
Can you hear me?
You're
Slightly. Yeah.
you're still freezing. Why don't you try getting out and then coming back in real quick?
Okay. I said too much.
Yep. Speaking too much truth.
All right,
That's what
we'll
the
just
chat
wait for
saying.
him to come right back in and see the chat's really active.
Yep.
Thank you guys for being here. We're gonna get to the DOTC project, or I'm sorry, DOTC, yes, project, and be showing some pictures and stuff from what Jesus has found, and man, you guys are just making this chat fly.
I
This
know.
is awesome.
I'm trying to keep up with chat. My goodness. Well, thank you everyone for showing up. We will get Jesus back on screen. There he
Look
is.
at
All right.
Maybe if I blur my face, they won't do that again.
that.
Yep, you're speaking too much truth. They're going after you.
I tell you, here they come. Here they come.
Yep.
They don't care about old Jesus.
So, you think we're ready to start getting into some pictures and stuff, or
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Before they knock us out again.
Mm,
They're saying, bad Jesus, bad Jesus.
that's just too much, man. Stop it. You're making sense. Talk about gangsters and Breaking Bad.
Yeah, stop it.
Stop it. So we started with this the last time.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Yep. What's crazy about that is that that's literally like if you stand in smack middle of our city or town, really, it's not that large, and you turn around and just look at the mountains, it's right there. You can see it right there. It's in our faces, but it just looks like a little strange pointy gray hill. You know, it almost looks like a mining hill, you know? It doesn't match the color of the mountain at all when you look at it from the city. It stands out as a gray pile of dirt. But once you really start zooming in and looking around that dirt, you realize that that's not just dirt. That looks like it's very much like a temple pyramid or like a pyramid, I guess, but more conical.
Right.
It looks a little more conical. And then I think behind it, that dirt, if that dirt hadn't fallen down over, centuries, that it would have a full conical setup, like a pyramid. It wouldn't be coming out of the wall like that towards us.
Right.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah, right there. When I zoomed in, I could be wrong. It could be the shadows and tricks of the light, but it looks to me really like, a cow. A cow on its haunches has horns, and it looks like I believe the cow was Shiva.
Yeah.
Yeah, and which is very odd because what would that be doing here in this area of the world? And because of Alamogordo's been here for a couple hundred years now. Going on. Well, not a couple hundred, but it was the late 1800s. Is when the town happened here. But there's people there for a couple hundred years, and those people should just be, from what we're told, just a local native tribe here and cowboys. With the occasional, I guess before that, the Spaniards and apparently some Vikings, and so it doesn't make sense why that would be here, because that would imply that a different civilization was here. With enough influence with their religion or whatever you want to call it, to where they needed to carve a giant statue in our mountain right here in New Mexico.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that reminds me of like the golden calf and like the Ten Commandments movie. So that's how I would picture that.
Exactly, the ball or Moloch, when they sacrificed
Right.
the children to that. And that's the thing, that this entity or deity, Moloch, was presented in several different animals, in different ways. It's really odd and interesting. But yeah, if you look towards the top of that the point, you look closer, you can see it looks like, to me, carvings, almost like a little temple on the very top. And yeah, when you look real closely at it, there's all kinds of things on it, carvings. I can't, like I said, a lot of this stuff, you can see that it's something. Like, one will look like a part of a face. One's going to look like a strange little green lady praying, long hair. Another one, but the thing is, it's something. It doesn't look natural. It looks artificial, or some sort of made by somebody, a human being of some sort, from somewhere, took the time and was intelligent enough to do these carvings, and create these things that turns out are really big. And when you're actually near them, you realize that these are not small things. I wouldn't be able to see them with my phone. All these pictures I took with my phone. I'm not using a fancy telephoto lens or nothing. No, it's just my phone zoomed in on our mountains, and it's just trippy because nobody seemed to notice.
How difficult would it be to hike up there?
To there, it just depends on what you got to get up there with. Like, if you're just walking, I would say you would 2 days easy, on foot. Just, leave early in the morning, hike until it became dark, and then camp. Next day, you'd probably get there midday, unless you're like just
Sounds like
crazy. Go ahead. I'm
sounds
sorry.
like we need a drone.
I was just gonna say drone.
Exactly. See, and that's the thing. I have video footage of a UFO going inside of this mountain. It's the middle of the day, glowing bright, and it took 13 minutes for it to descend. Before once it got almost to the bottom, it just disappeared into the mountain. I have footage of the same thing behind the mountain, and I'm talking like 5 years apart. So it's been happening for a long time. And we have the sacred mountain here, the Mountain of the Gods, and I have footage of UFOs coming in and out of that. In their history, their ancient history, they talk about that mountain, the gods living here in these mountains and coming in and out of the mountain in orange glowing light, balls of light, So there's definitely an inside, inside this place. See, like that picture you're showing right now on the screen, if you look right at the middle of the picture and then go to the far right, to me, those look like columns. Very deteriorated because I blurred them. But, if you look at them as if it was an ancient building, it looks like that's what we're seeing is ancient structure of some sort. I can't tell you what the structure is, but it just doesn't look natural to me, to the terrain that I know we have here,
Right. So we ready for the next one?
Sure.
I don't know. I don't know if these are in any particular order. I tried to keep them the way you sent them to me, so
you should be good. All right. Yeah.
Wow.
Right. So, I guess if somebody could say that's pareidolia, that'd be one heck of a cactus, From what I can see, in the enlargement behind the figure, one, it looks like it's sitting on its legs. Right in front of it, where the cloth, if it's cloth, of course, I'm guessing it's rock, but it looks like it's draping in front of a spear that's shiny, that's sitting in a small encasing behind the individual that looks like it's praying, holding its hands up. You can see like it's wearing a shirt. Behind it, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little dark areas that go in a circle right behind it. So that doesn't look natural to me. Those things they stick out outside of it being a yucca plant, a cactus. It almost looks like it has, oh my. Okay, look at it. Think about this, guys. Okay, of course, this is me just reaching, I'm sure. But in the enlargement, if you go down to its knees, or where there should be knees, which doesn't look like it has knees, and you go to the left, it's all connected with that curly thing. It looks almost like a scorpion tail or a snake tail.
Oh, right.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And then at first I used to think that it looked like a woman with long hair, but now that I'm looking at it, it looks like it has a headdress on top. It goes from the top of the head into white at an angle and then comes down, and then it looks like it's wearing a headdress. You can see hair on the side of the face a little bit, but yeah, I don't think it's a female anymore. But yeah, it looks, to me, that doesn't look natural. I could be completely wrong, and it's really just a windy day and the plant that just looks funny. I don't know. It doesn't look natural to me. If you look at the large picture, or the not the enlargement, but the main picture, how about that? Look at the main picture, and you look at the figure, right? You see the little figure there, hold its little hands up. If you go directly down, maybe halfway, and you look to the right, I see 2 white circles.
Yes.
Yes.
Again, it doesn't look like the natural surroundings, those 2 things. And there's another one, a third one I can see on that middle one. It's protruding. Look to the right of it a little bit. And
Yeah.
right above, right, I know this looks crazy, but right above that middle one, if you look right above it, it looks like a face, a carving of a face with a clown nose, I guess, black nose, 2 eyes.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Oh, yeah.
But,
I see it.
okay, now here you go. There's even more. All right, let's go back to the middle. We're going to go back to the middle, okay? Right, we're back
Okay.
on the individual praying. Now go straight up about halfway, and then go to the left a little bit, and you'll see another carving, and it looks like somebody's head sticking out. I don't know how to explain it. There's a carving right there. It looks like to the right and the left of the head is almost a zigzag pattern going down to a box or some sort of another individual. I see a little head and what could be like a shield in front of him, almost. I don't know. It's really strange.
Yeah, I see that.
And now, if you stay in that area and move to your immediate right, and look carefully, you'll see what looks like 2 eyes and open mouth and wavy waves around it. I know it's hard to, it sounds crazy, but in that whole area, I see a bunch of, it looks like stone carvings everywhere.
Yeah.
In that gray area where it's all stone. So there's a lot there. Like I said, I'm up to 18,000 images that I've taken pictures of this mountain. Wow. And
now to me, where the person has his hands up, like the praying, where we started originally, if you go right down to the base where he or she is at,
right,
it looks like an arm coming down, and then shoulders to the right, then a head a little lower. It looks like an upper torso of a person to me, that the praying person is on. Yeah,
I know. I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's like I said, there's a lot there.
Wow.
There's so much there and that's the thing. It's not buried. All this stuff, like, for it to be still right there, just not even a foot deep of dirt. Think about that time wise. That's whatever it was not thousands upon thousands of millions of years ago. No, whatever all this stuff was there within 1,000 years, I would say.
Wow.
But this is where the mind screw happens, because if, like, say you guys were here, I'd love to show you some things. Now, the erosion on our mountain, half of it looks like it was water erosion. Another half looks like it was an earthquake had happened at some point. But the last time that there was an ocean here, or the remnants of an ocean, was 23,000 years ago. Now, for a lot of this stuff that I found to have water erosion on it, in the amount that's on it, and it's not just like from a little bit of rain, but rivers and lots of water, tons of water, for it to erode on top of these carvings, that I've found. Not this one specifically because it's like on the face of the mountain, but in between some areas that we have roads going through and tunnels and systems. There's water erosion on it, like just ginormous amounts of water have passed through, and there supposedly hasn't been that much water since over 20,000 years ago. So does that mean that this civilization that I'm finding here is that old? It was around 20,000 years and nonstop, or it's very confusing because history tells us that there's supposed to just be some wacky natives running around with teepees, and some cowboys and stuff, and nothing on this scale whatsoever. They're not even supposed to have a written language, let alone be able to carve and do all this.
Exactly.
It's a mystery. Oh, I love that one. That one's so cool in my eyes, because there's more than one thing there. Okay, first off, of course, let's address the main thing. That's a nose and a mouth, part of a statue that it looks like it's been broken, right?
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
On the full picture, like to the right, if you look immediately to your right, it almost looks like a knight, an evil knight from Mordor and from a big dark black castle. You can see it has like a solid front face. There's no nose, mouth, or nothing. There's an eye area for the eye, and then above it a headdress, what looks like almost like bat wings coming out.
Right.
Yeah.
In the full picture, there's like 3 more things in a row going along that ridge. Now, the one on the left, for me, that face, the part you can see what's there, that does not look primitive, as in a carving, a stone carving. It's not. That doesn't look primitive. That looks like the Egyptian quality, faces that we see out, in their deserts. They're broken and stuff. That's real art, and it's huge. Again, if I was standing next to it, I'd say if I was lucky, I'd come up to the top lip, standing in front of the face, maybe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's definitely not little. And if you look directly behind it, you can see almost grayish white designs behind it on the dark gray.
Yep.
Yeah. Again, it just doesn't look like a natural thing to me. And how nobody's noticed it. Literally, right below this picture is a mansion.
Oh my gosh.
There's like several houses that live in halfway up the mountain, and we have one on Thunder Road. It's they get really mad because we drive up there at night and they're like, "Hey, this is our property." It's a public road, but they get mad because a lot of people like to go up there for the view at nighttime.
Right.
But yeah, it's like right there. It's all right, like literally right next to us all. I'm not like adventuring deep into the jungles of the South American, whatever the hell, trying to find these, hidden gems. No, they're right here. I was at some of these pictures I took while standing in Planet Fitness parking lot.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so it's very, very mind-boggling because I'm like, am I experiencing the most amazing, incredible pareidolia that's ever existed in the history of mankind?
Wow.
That definitely looks like a statue of a face to me, though. I mean,
Yeah.
It looks like it's been broken. Yeah, it's been broken off at the nose, right in the above that, right there and above. Something happened and it broke, shattered off, because it almost looks hollow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder
It's
if
weird.
there's a real skull.
Maybe, you never know. Oh, there you go. There, it's a little bit bigger. Yeah, if you look to the right of it, you can see multiple other statues or carvings of some sort. I'll just say that.
Oh, wow.
Going down the line.
That just don't look normal right there.
They don't. And if you look to the left of the face, like literally, like if you're looking where its ear should be and it goes to the far left, that looks like design. That doesn't look natural to me. And if you look around, okay, like you see the red line?
Yes.
Where the red line ends, the skinniest side at the very end to the left, if you go up and down, you'll see circle, 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 circle going around that whole little area along, up. You know, again, to me, that says design, not natural, you know, just random rock. If you look now, go back to the face, okay? Go back to the face,
Right.
and then you go say 1, 2, 3 sculpted heads in, and you look down at the bottom right corner. Again, looks like a carving. All right there looks like carvings.
Oh, I do see that.
Yeah. And that's right on the face of our mountains right here. And none of this is in history
Gosh.
books at all, besides in those old newspaper clippings. That's what got me looking, because I was reading these old newspaper clippings from watching the Archivist, that channel, the YouTube channel, the Archivist. And I was like, what the heck? You know, he's has a section on New Mexico of these ancient findings that came out of newspapers and that now you never hear about no more. And I was like, there's got to be something here. And when I looked, there was.
Wow.
The more you look at it, the more you can't unsee it, you know?
Right.
It starts to stick out. And on this one, I made an example because some people I had showed this picture to, they really honestly couldn't see anything. They said, what? There's nothing there. It's just rocks. So I did this to give an example of what we're seeing. I just took the face on the left, the statue, and put it, just the mouth part and nose part right there on the right, moved it over so you could compare it with this. And to me, I see the same structures, facial structures, the chin, upper, lower lips, nose, nostril, cheekbone, you know, even the shading's the same.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, so to me, I think that deserves some sort of, you know, validity, even though I know I'm not there in person to point at it or stand next to it. But like I said, it's just me taking pictures with my phone. So what else could it be? You know?
I mean, I see a face. I mean,
Right?
I can't not see a face.
Yep. So yeah, it's
Yeah. Yeah, it looks exactly like that.
yep. Literally, I'm an artist. I went to art college. I do sculptures. I know how to sculpt all that. So when I see these specific shadows showing with the correct anatomical structure of a face,
Right.
and I'm able to give an example of it, to me, it's not a question anymore. You know?
Well, you even got the shiny spot on the tip of the nose.
Yeah, that's the specular highlight. You know?
Yeah.
And that's a thing. And even I mean, that's just come on, man, come on.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, this is right by my house on the highway to Cloudcroft on the right side. And mind you, I had to wait. I've taken so many pictures. And one picture, if it's 3 p.m, there's nothing there. It's just a bunch of bright rock. But if I wait till 10 o'clock in the morning or different times, I have to go several times back to these areas to take pictures. Because the shadows are so important. That was the thing about the Mayans, the Aztecs, the Toltecs, the Olmecs, all these different, the Incas, all these different civilizations. They put the sun's light and the shadow in their carvings so much. It's super Indiana Jonesy. And
Right.
if you look at this picture right here, you can see the facial structure. And I drew a sketch of it just to help people understand what I'm seeing when I'm looking at it. You go towards the top of it, there's a headdress, and there is a perfect circle with what looks like turquoise of some sort or something similar in color that's been put there, and there is design to it. There is, which this would, if there was a skull underneath there, it would look like the Peruvian elongated skulls,
Oh yeah.
yeah, the whole angle, everything, on the headdress. And yeah, I can see personally, if you look You can see cheekbone, you can see nostrils, you can see the opening in the mouth, lips, the little chin. Yeah, and that right there, I would say is easily a 20-foot long structure minimum, 20 to 30
Wow.
foot large. You know, it's really, these are not small. So the amount, imagine the amount of work that goes into one of these, just one of them. You know, if when you don't have any technology, is it carved into that wall or was it put there? I don't know.
I don't. Yeah. How would it get? Yeah, that's the thing. How would it get there? And if it's a natural formation, I mean, that just looks like weird erosion to me. If that's natural,
Mhm.
I
Right,
mean, it
that's some
doesn't make
amazing
sense.
erosion.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
You know, yeah, it just blows my mind because I know I to my family I look insane because I always see them, and I'm like, oh my god, look at this, look at this, look at this picture, look at this picture. You know, my dad now thank God I saw my father with me. I'll want to show him pictures, you know, because I can screen it to his TV, and he has like an 80-inch TV, and you could really see everything. And I'll sit down and he'll look at me. I don't even have to say anything. He'll be like, 4 pictures. Uh, you can show me 4 pictures. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, fine. So I've got to look for the 4 damn best pictures that I want to show. But yeah, it's driving them crazy, I'm sure. But it's so
Take your best
interesting,
shot. This is all you got.
you know? Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
oh, wow. A
I
bearded
see,
man.
yeah, I see a bearded man with hair on top of his head. You see eyes, nose, mouth. There's yeah, all the stuff you need to make a hairy face.
Looks like a Hobbit
Even
movie.
yep, and that's even possible. Like the beard, and if you don't like to the left and right, you can see it almost looks like that's he's wearing a helmet. And those are the sideburns, kind of the helmet. You know, kind of like the Trojan
Oh,
helmets,
Oh,
almost.
yes. Yes, I
Yeah,
see that.
and then because the reason why I say that is as you look to the left, it looks like there's a heart earring. I doubt it's an earring, but it looks like a heart earring.
Oh,
But
yeah.
if you go above that, you can see almost design like a wreath going around the top. Like again, like the Romans had those red frills, but this one's going
right.
Wow.
sideways. And there's it looks to me like I said, I see design. I don't see a natural thing right there.
Looks like somebody just turned into stone.
Yeah, right. It does. And I run into that a lot in these things. It just for the reason of like when I think statues, I think the Greek statues that we have, and the faces that they're making. On a lot of these that I find, they look like they were kind of like almost like Pompeii. They're in the middle of doing normal things. They're making different kinds of faces like that. There's this one I have. I don't know if I sent it to you. I don't remember it's right up, but there's just one of a guy that's like looking up, and his mouth's like kind of, it doesn't look like something you would want to make a statue. It looked weird. It looked like he was kind of melting almost too. It was
Yeah.
some weird stuff, man. Some wild stuff. These hills have eyes.
So getting back to like the mud flood and stuff, I wonder if there's more hidden that we can't see that's just been enveloped by the
Oh, I'm
mud
sure.
flood.
I am sure. So I went on Google Earth and kind of looked down, and out the front between the major valleys in the mountain range in front of us, you look down and there's huge just mudslides. It looks like huge ones
Hmm.
that just poured out of the mountain at some point. So we definitely have mud flood uh, looking terrain here. But like I said, to me it looks like there was an earthquake that pushed up part of the mountain or the rock, whatever, and the vibrations of that earthquake caused liquefaction and a whole bunch of the dirt that was on top of this land from the flood or from a mud flood was on it, and then that earthquake happened, and a whole area just went all the dirt off of it, you know,
Right.
real quick, real fast. It didn't look like erosion type of situation. It looked like a flood happened of dirt.
Oh my
Well, and
gosh.
also the mud flood, they were talking about an extensive heat that made the ground just liquefy. So a lot of these mountains look like castles or palaces that got melted.
Yep, yep, exactly. And there's some things here. I'll send you some pictures of the mountains, like just as a whole, not all zoomed in, so you can really see how strange it looks, you know?
Okay. Yeah, I'd be interested in seeing that.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Right? What do you see?
See a face right smack in the middle.
Yep. And to the left of that one, there's another statue slightly turned, its face looking towards the right more. And you can see the nose, and it's wearing a helmet as well. You can see it's like a head
Mm.
dressing.
Yep.
Same thing. To the right of the face, if you look to the right, you can see another face with the eye right there. You can see two nostrils. You can see teeth. But whatever the mask it's wearing, on the right side of it, it goes down the face, under the chin, up the left side of the mouth, covering part of the mouth.
Wow.
There's a lot there, you know. And then if you go straight to the top of that third one, you know, from the left, the third one, you go straight up, and it looks like a bird or vulture on the top, very top, a carving of that, like a headdress.
I'm trying to figure out if they look like Mayan or Inca or what, you know,
Yeah.
they have a definite look to them. I'm
Well,
trying to figure out where I've seen these before or from other
the way
discoveries.
it looks to me, if I could pick 3 cultures or civilizations, I see right now Mayan or Aztec, which they're very similar. Okay, if say a Mayan, an Aztec, a Hawaiian,
Mhm.
you know, and Olmec. If you squish them all together into one, because it almost, you know, like we said, one of them looks real tiki torch like, you
Yeah.
know.
Yes.
The one on the far left to me looks more like a Mayan warrior, Aztec warrior with the helmet on. And then to the one on the third to the right, that one just looks again a lot more evil. I'll say that. It looks evil, but it has an actual eye. If you look at the eye, there's white. It has a dark pupil, and it has white next to it, which is
Right.
really, it was used a lot with between Egyptian and some of the ancient, you know, Toltec and the Mayan carvings. The ones that haven't been messed with, they used seashells for the white part of the eye in a lot of their
Oh,
carvings and statues.
okay.
So that stands out to me. I've seen that popping out a lot in a lot of these carvings. You know, and like if you look at the picture in the middle or the face in the middle, okay, and you go straight up the middle, like say if that was its helmet on top, and you look up there, you can see another very shiny black ball in the middle sitting on what looks like something that's has designed to it.
Oh,
Right.
I see it.
I do see
Okay.
that.
Yeah. So that's one of the things I learned a long time ago. I used to take, you know, pictures of the sky and all that stuff, and I'd see weird ass crap. And I was on one of the pueblos on the, you know, one of the reservations here in New Mexico, and um, one of the locals came over to where I was at, the house I was at, and I was showing him these pictures, and he said that, you know, I've been blessed with the eye, you know, and he was if you really want to see some what's there, he was mirror the image. You know, he was a medicine man. He told me he was mirror it. You know, look in the
Oh,
mirror. A lot of shamans use water. You know, in the past to do that to see different the other realm.
yeah.
So when I started doing that with these images, it really stood out when there was something not natural. It would have symmetry, and when it's doubled, it made, you know, some very, very interesting things, faces and shapes that didn't make sense, and that made me start looking for, without doing it. I don't do that right now, but because I'd be here all day. I already have 18,000 regular pictures. Sheesh. But now my eye's been trained, so even if a face is half destroyed, a carving or whatever, I'm able to, in my mind, see the symmetry and the unnatural shapes, as in, you know, the, like when I see that one in the on the far right, the third one to the right, you know, if I look on the left, if I look on the left side of the eye, I can see squares, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then right below the eye in those squares, I see what looks like to me almost like hair, carved hair, like the top of a beard before you come down. That's when I see, you know, where the, around the mouth, I see the teeth, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then below that, you see that shape, which has 3 sides to it, the bottom, the face, the left side, all that stuff in my head jumping, you know, is all putting together in my head, which you go straight up above the eyeball, you see the pupil, go straight up, and you run into another black sphere, and it has the specular highlight on it, which is coming out of what looks like almost like a cornucopia to the left of it, you know?
Yep.
So it's, yeah, there's a lot there, you know, so much there that I really don't think these are just pareidolia or matrixing.
Right.
Interesting.
Interesting.
A skinny long shot.
Oh, wow.
I definitely
Again,
see a
shape nose.
of a person.
Yeah, yeah. Getting cheekbones. Can't even buy that in Beverly Hills these days, get cheekbones like that, you know? And the eye, you can see again, you have white in the front and the back. So I'm guessing that again is the abalone shell. Even though we're nowhere near ocean, they said there was an ocean here at some point. My thing is, though, if the ocean was here first, then that means the whole mountain range was here during the same time, because we have shells on top of our mountains here. I found them myself. I've broken up rocks. It smells like salt water, you know, ocean water. Or did the Great Flood happen, which moved around everything and put stuff everywhere on top of mountains? I don't know. But all I know is that that's a face. That's a profile.
Yeah.
The hat.
I mean,
he's wearing a hat.
I see the headdress. I see the brow, the little bit of the forehead, to the eyes, to the nose, the cheekbone, and then you start to get to the upper lip and mouth area, then a chin that could possibly have a beard.
Yep. You know, and then what I did in this image is all of the image is really that dark gray you see around it, around this one. All I did was brighten up that area, because unless you're trained, like how my eyes are trained, I see it all. I see all kinds of stuff. But if I'm going to show somebody like on the show right now, and I want them to focus, I'll do that. I'll brighten it just a little bit. I don't change nothing. I don't draw it. I just brightened it up a little bit right there in that area. Because like, if you look to the left, immediate left of that, there's another row, another sculpture, which looks like it has its nose is broken off. It has a headdress. You know, there's a thing above it. And to the left of that one, there's another one. And if I'm trying to show somebody like right now, it's really hard for me to point and stuff, you know? And the average viewer would just get lost in the image and be like, this dude's nuts, you know? But it's these things are actually there. I don't change it. And same thing with any paranormal images I have that I show ever, I only darken and lighten. That's it. Or hit contrast or sharpen. I don't draw. I don't paste things on, nothing like that. You know, it's literally I just try to bring out the image. That's it. You know, and I see a freaking face.
It keeps reminding me of Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit series, of all their stone statues, and the dwarves and the elves. They all had these giant statues. That's what this reminds me of.
Remember, what was it? Never Ending Story, the Rock Giants.
Yeah, that too.
You know, the hills were alive, the stones were alive. You know, and who knows which ones have been petrified stones immediately? Which ones were actually stone giants? You know, it's hard to tell. You watched Roger from Mud Fossil University?
No, I don't think I've heard of him.
No.
Okay, you guys did. Well, he's a professor of some sort. He studied biology, anatomy, and what is it? Some gun. He knows rocks really well, but you guys will love him. I think you guys will really love him. He does all the mud fossil research on actual mud fossils, and he's found he has a hand of a giant. Literally, that's the palm itself is about, I don't know, the size of a kitchen table. The palm, and he had it all. He's had it all DNA tested. He's had all these things DNA tested and came back human with DNA.
Oh my
and yeah, he has a goose, a head of a goose that's petrified too. I mean, you can see the beak, the eye, some feathers and everything. It's Mud Fossil University.
I think somebody shared the link in the chat.
Good.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, now, see, this is the only thing is, the only thing is for him, everything's biology and has been petrified of some sort. You won't hear him talk about the mud flood as in the buildings. You won't hear him touch on that. Kind of like how in the Bigfoot world or crypto world, you'll have people that believe in Bigfoot, but UFOs are make believe. You have the people that believe in UFOs, but Bigfoots are make believe.
Right.
He focuses on just the mud fossils, actual stone fossils of bodies, and examples of the terrain. There's that one. That's the one I'm talking about. Looks like it was something living in pain. There's his face, right?
Yeah.
And really interesting shapes above his head too. But yeah, that looks like a face. It looks like that got caught in the middle of something.
Turned into stone.
Yeah. It looks like he's wearing a helmet too. There's a lot of helmets that I find people wearing helmets. But isn't that fascinating?
Yeah.
That reminds me of like when the volcano erupted on Pompeii and they were all frozen in time.
Yep. This reminds me of the original Clash of the Titans.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember that movie? Long time ago, the original? Yeah, that's what it reminds me of from that era. But it looks like you can see it looks like a hat or hair or a helmet, and then I can see hair at the bottom of the sides. Looks like hair.
Yes.
You know?
Wow.
And then I don't know what that is above the head to the right, the white color, but that also looks very suspect to me. I don't know what the heck it is, but it doesn't look normal for that area.
Very strange. Yeah, very strange formations.
It's an anomaly. That's what I guess I've been finding strange anomalies that I can't prove or what I think they are and what they look like, but they're definitely anomalies. You know?
Wow.
Oh, yeah. To me, that looks like a Olmec head facing us, buried in the rock. Again, why would they carve half of a face out of the rock? Or did the rock melt down on it? And then right behind it, facing towards, from our view, it looks like we're facing you on the right. You know, it's looking at you, and the one's looking at me. Direction wise, you can see a face to the right of the main face.
Yep, right on the edge, right before you get off screen. I see that.
Yeah, towards
just past the middle of the picture. Yep.
Yep, to the right is a face looking at, because you can see us on the screen, right? I'm in the middle, you're on the left, and you're on the right. It looks like it's facing you over here. Yeah, there you are. It's facing this way. Yeah, right there. You know?
Totally different stone, different color.
Different facial structure too.
That's the thing. All these pictures, they seem like they're not all carved in the same kind of image.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen so many different facial structures. It look Asian, Olmec, African, all kinds of European. Like every version. There's every version it seems was in there in this area. You know, it's like this would have had to have been like a metropolis of people from around the world being here. Like if it was like a headquarters of all religions. Real strange. You know, because usually you'll just see one type of thing, one type of, you know, deity. And if a new civilization comes, they usually destroy the last ones, you know, to
Right.
show homage to their current one. But not this one. I'm seeing all of them, like from Greek, Egypt, here, there, Tibetan, Chinese. I mean, the list goes on. I've seen so much weird stuff in here. I think it
Oh my
deserves,
God.
you know, some kind of attention, you know, but
Yeah.
I'm just crazy OGs,
No, we're all crazy.
you know.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so on the right side is one of the 14 Olmec heads discovered that exist today. There's only 14. The one on the left is what I found, which I think is also an Olmec head, you know?
Yeah, I see it.
And there's a headdress.
Yeah.
There's design in the middle, carving right up the middle. Same thing with that Olmec head on the right. There's right up the middle design, you know?
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
And they're huge. Again, it could be pareidolia, but I just don't think so.
Yeah, they mentioned in
I
chat
mean,
about
you might be able to say pareidolia on some aspects, but I mean the main feature you definitely see a face and a head.
Yeah, and then if you go straight up the middle of it, okay, to that upside down triangle, and you look closely, you can literally count out little squares or circles. At the bottom of it, there's a little triangle, upside down triangle at the bottom of that area. You go above it, and there's 3 rows, 1, 2, 3, and they have like little round balls or squares carved out in it.
Wow. Yep.
And the list goes on and on. If we want to get, you know, real detailed, you know, on the right side, the left side of it, in the middle of the face, it looks like there's been stuff carved on top of the face itself, especially on the left cheek. What would be the left cheek? If you look carefully, you can start seeing design.
but still carving it out would be amazing. You mess
Oh,
up one time
yeah,
and
that's it.
knock out a nostril, you're gonna have to start all over again. I mean, that's what amazes me is you don't see mistakes in these carvings.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, and someone in chat mentioned Wise Up. That's another good channel.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one. I
Mhm.
love that guy. Oh,
Yep,
Flatter Day.
I've got that channel too.
Yep. No, I love
Wow.
him. He's a ride.
Those are amazing.
Yeah,
Thank you.
beautiful pictures.
Thank you.
And that's just
They're-
with your phone zooming in, correct?
Yep.
Wow. Wow.
I have so many more too to share, but you know, can only do so many.
Yeah, you got to find the
First off,
time to go through your photos.
You know,
Wow.
like I said, it's hard because I don't want to annoy the wife, or you know, because it's easier for me to go on the send them to the TV to look at them in a larger screen, so I can
Yeah.
you know look for things. But you know, it gets really old real quick to other people. You know, I ain't saying my wife doesn't you know into all this, but I just don't want to be a jerk. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just be glued to the screen, rocks, stones, you know.
But you're right.
Yeah.
Your wife is actually a rock hound, though, right? She's a rock hound.
Ah.
Yep. So, yeah, you know, it's like I want to keep that way. I want to stay excited about it. You know, I've got really intense. I guess you do call it ADHD, whatever. I get hyper focused for hours. You know, and yeah. So it's when you don't have that, you know, thing going on in your head, it's really hard for other people to understand, you know, how I can be just like stuck on something for just hours, you know. I lose track of time. I've gone 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours straight just researching this stuff and trying to catalog it and put this one here. Okay, I found that. I'm just going to screenshot that, put that in this folder. Yeah, and I'm trying to write. It's a lot.
It's fascinating.
Definitely.
Yeah, because you said you actually want to put out a book of all your photos and pictures, not only the description and what you're seeing and the story behind it, but actual pictures of what you've been taking also.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. It'd have to be a series. There's so much. It'd have to be a series of books. And, excuse me. You know, I am working still on the documentary version, but winter happened. So, you know, my camera guys, they're not around. It's too cold for them. And they ain't as crazy as me. But yeah, there's so much there that I want to share with people that they can actually physically hold in their hands and take the time to look at. And it's not just a screen that can be shut off. You know, it'll actually last, you know, into whatever calamities are coming. but I just think it's worth sharing with the world. At least it'll be documented, regardless of academia wants to recognize any of my discoveries. All I know is that they've been really interested in just all the cryptid hominid research I've done. I've had multiple universities now I've worked with and have come directly to me, their heads of their departments, to ask me questions to understand my research and what I've found. So yeah, I think that they should give me a little credit, you know, with what I found. It's not like it's just you can kind of see stuff. It's like, no, there's stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of those pictures. It just instantly popped out at me. I mean, I didn't even have to try to make anything up. It was just the first thing I saw.
All right, especially the bowl.
Right, there's this one picture. I don't think I sent it to you, but I've only showed a few people. I'll send it to you, you know, like probably tonight or something. But just for why it just looks crazy. I'll be straight with you, but it's just like that one that looks like it's praying.
Yeah,
it's on the same area. Okay, the same like side of the mountain, same area. But I am not making this up. You'll understand when you see it. It literally looks like Yoda from Star Wars.
Oh
my gosh.
Really? I'm not kidding. The ears, green face, wearing what looks like a beige tunic, and holding his hands out forward, and it looks like he's holding a crystal ball. Like there's a crystal ball sitting in his hands, and I'm just like, is that Yoda?
Oh my gosh! Or Grogu, which one?
Right, you know, but like when you see it, you can't unsee it. I mean, and that's the thing that you got to remember, that a lot of these creatures that we look at in movies and TV, they were actually based on actual beings. May they have been myth or whatever. A lot of them are were something before we saw them on TV and movies. And these creators of these shows, some of them know a little more than other people. And they taunt us and mess with us by showing us those things, and we don't even realize that it's real stuff that these beings are you know, created after. It's creepy. It's still strange for me that I can see me right there, you know.
And you look so serious in the corner too.
Yep, I'm like, what's he looking at? You know.
Well, speaking of books,
you guys did great. I just want to say that's a great job you did on the poster, man. It looks so cool. So yeah, you did that. It looks very cool.
Yeah. I try my best. I mean, at what little resources I have, and to try to bring whatever we're talking about up front. And so I do all the banners and the thumbnails myself.
It looks real cool. Very cool. But like you were saying, the book, my books.
Yeah. Speaking of book, you were mentioning about your weight loss and your possible book. So I would love for you to share your adventure of your weight loss to our chat.
Okay. So when I first started doing movies and television, I weighed about probably 350. You know, I'm 6'3". As the years went on and Breaking Bad happened, Better Call Saul happened, I ballooned up to before that, 2012, I'd gotten up to 455 pounds. And I'm a stunt man, and I'm expected to fight and run and jump, and it was affecting my work. And here's a little story I got. This is when the reality hit. Was I was filming Two Guns with Mark Wahlberg, Denzel Washington, and there's a scene where there's a Vietnam era helicopter chasing us and shooting a 20 millimeter can at us, but in real life, it wasn't CG or
Oh
hanging
my
from a
gosh.
crane. No, it was a real one. So we're running, doom, 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 and I guess my stomach got ahead of me, and I just took a dive, boom, flat on my face and stomach, and they had to stop the whole show, and you just hear everybody gasped, when I hit the ground, wham, or you just hear, ooh, ah, ee, and it was super embarrassing for me, just besides falling, is that I had finally made it to a film as an actor that had Mark Wahlberg, Denzel Washington, Edward James Olmos, Bill Paxton, James Marsden, which he was an X-Men and all kinds of other people he played. Just was a whole bunch of really, really like serious actors, and to reach that level and then do that in front of all of them, I was just mortified. You know what I mean? I was like, I am with my peers, and yeah, so I'm just laying there on my face, they yelled cut, and the helicopter flies away, and you hear Mark Wahlberg go, dude, are you okay? And I just laying there and I go, yeah, I'm okay. And I slowly crawl back up, and they have to reset everything. And it costed $5,000 a minute every minute.
Gosh.
Oh.
So to reset up all the explosions and helicopters,
No.
it was quadruple, duple times 10, triple dog there. Embarrassing, So after that, I'm talking to Mark, and he tells me, he's like, dude, he goes, you're gonna die, man. He was like, you're gonna die. He's like, you need to get in shape, And I didn't take it as a cut or nothing. He was really concerned, like he was really worried I was gonna die like that moment, And we stayed in touch, over the years. But every time I, would try to lose some weight, or I was boxing for a while, and I'd give updates and stuff. But yeah, 3 weeks later after the movie, I almost did die. I found out I didn't know I had diabetes, and I went into catatonic or ketosis. It was bad. All my organs were shutting down. And you had to go to the hospital, and all kinds of stuff. It was not cool. And so from that point forward, I'd been trying to lose weight, get in shape. I started doing the Atkins diet for the first, the first stint of it, and I lost 100 pounds real quick. I wasn't doing tons of exercise. I was boxing training. I wasn't like running yet though, because I was still real heavy. I didn't run, but I walked a lot. But then life happened, and I gained back 75 pounds. So I ended up coming back to about 350, 365. And about a year ago, just life caught up with me, and I was tired of being not feeling healthy, dealing with diabetes and doing insulin, and I was just really, really. I was married now, and my parents are older, and they need me too, and they're still very capable people right now, but the time will come when I need to take care of them, like we took care of my grandparents, and all those things put together, incentivize me, I guess you could say, to want to get healthy and try to stretch out as many years as I can from abusing my poor body and my brain all these years, and so I went back into the gym, started doing more of a keto diet. every day, every single day, in and out, every day. Once in a while, taking a day off once in a while to let my body rest. But yeah, altogether, I ended up losing 200 pounds total.
Wow.
And like I said, I just lost 10 more pounds in the last couple of weeks because I got sick. But yeah, so I put all of that, the full story, I'm putting it into a book called Baking Bad. It's done now. So now I'm just figuring out how to upload it to Amazon and trying to meet all their requirements. Like I said, the book's done now. Because at the end of the book, though, so the book's called Baking Bad with Gonzo, How I Lost 200 Pounds, and my Breaking Bad memoir. So at the end of the cookbook, which I have about, I don't know, 60 recipes in it, I tell the story of how I got on Breaking Bad, some of the misadventures of being on the show and how it's affected my life, how different opportunities it's made, and other situations that weren't so good, that it came about because of it. But yeah, so that's that. As soon as I get that uploaded in the next couple days, hopefully in a week it'll be available for people to buy. But
Awesome.
Self-publishing it myself.
Yeah, I mean, I've been following you on Facebook and stuff, and I gotta say, man, you're just doing marvelous. I mean, it's just a big,
Thank you, brother.
big change in your life. I can tell just from the pictures you're uploading.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm still not used to it. Like when I want to shop for any clothes, when I do get clothes, which I don't buy clothes very often, I still order they're too big. I'm used to always having triple, quadruple X, tall, long, 4 or 5X and stuff. And now I look stupid. I look silly wearing that clothes. I have to buy everything smaller now. I'm not used to being back in size 36s pants, waist. I was always bought 50s. 46,
Right.
50s. So it's a complete change. My foot got smaller. That's interesting. I used to wear a size 16. Now that I've lost all this weight, my foot, I guess, got less squished out, and I'm down to a 15. So I thought that was interesting. So there's all kinds of differences. Definitely.
Wow.
Healthier. Feel much better.
Your toes shrank.
So
That's
not
amazing.
only do we have a documentary to look forward, but a book along the same lines, and then a breaking
baking
Yeah.
Bigfoot or
Baking
Bad.
Yeah. I'm trying to embrace my artistic side now, as in trying to make a living off of it. I don't want my wife have to work, either. And now that I'll be adopting my nephew, I want to be there for him to raise him. He's only 9 years old, and I don't want to have to do the 9 to 5 thing or even be doing just movies. Because when you're doing movies, you got to be gone for weeks at a time.
Yeah.
So I've done the movie thing, I've done the TV thing, I've done a bunch of them. I've reached the tops of my career. I'm happy. I'd rather stay home now, write books, take care of the kid and the wife, and go on adventures, and live vicariously through Indiana Jones movie.
He's at the right age where you'll be able to get him active and say, "Oh, climb up there and see what that is." And take
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Gonna be. I told the wife he's gonna be short round. I'll be Indy.
That'll be perfect.
I'm looking forward to it very much. So I love being a dad.
Well, we've
That's
enjoyed
awesome.
this very much tonight. Thank you for coming. I think this would be a good part to break off on, and we'll have to have you back again because I'm
Oh,
sure there's
yeah.
gonna be more that you'll find that we'll have to talk about.
I'll get some more pictures together.
That sounds good.
Thank you,
Awesome.
guys. I appreciate you.
Definitely send us Yoda. I want to see that.
Oh, I will.
Yes.
And share it with your audience, okay?
Okay. Yeah, we'll put it
Thank
out there on the community page. And so thank you for
Thank
coming.
you.
Don't go away. Just stay right there.
Oh,
We'll
no.
just say bye to everybody in chat.
Yeah, I just want to tell everybody, thank you for watching the show and everybody being cool in chat. And you guys are awesome.
Yep, we got a good crowd that shows up in our chat, and they're all loving, and they're all friends to us. And
yeah, we're a good group of friends. Yes, we've been friends for a long time, a lot of us in this chat.
A lot of
Very
these people you
supportive.
see, and Jessica Jones, the Cryptus Hundreds, and I mean this every Susie B's chat, or the same people show up all the time in all of our chats, or it's like a big community.
Yes, it
It's
is.
all-
So thank you for coming tonight. It was great, and everybody in chat, we love you.
Yep.
Thank
You know,
for
we love
coming.
you. Oops, there we go.
There you go. So we're going to go ahead and end the stream, and keep looking up. You know, we're Midwest Night Watchers, so keep looking up in the skies, and love and peace to everybody, and do something kind for somebody. Be nice to others.
Keep your vibrations up and your energy up.
So saying that, we love you all, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Keep hope alive.